ahead and subscribe to our channel. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified anytime any of the women on the platform go live. Okay, and if you're tuned in on the Queen Amadaj Shakur show, please hit subscribe, notification bell, and all for the same reason. Okay, so thanks everyone. Hello, Nick Joe, Tamisha, Princess G, Little Bit, March Baby 1986, Chameleon, Bronze Flat Power King, Adrian, Nakisha. All right, from Kalamazoo, Michigan is in the house. Hello, Keisha Jackson, beloved. Sierra Holmes. Okay, so let's get into it, people. So, hello, Dan Ruck, Deuce Cigarillo, and Lisa. Okay, so let's get into it, people. So recently, Kanye West was a little upset because Jennifer Aniston from the famed show Friends she posted, she made a post online encouraging people not to vote for him. She said that it wasn't funny. Okay, take your responsibility seriously and don't vote for Kanye West. It's not going to be funny, right? So of course Kanye didn't like that. So let's talk about what he had to say. Hello, Eris. Okay, let's talk about it. Jennifer Aniston, if one didn't already hear, is very passionate about voting. Hold on just a second. Let me cut this volume off. Okay. Jennifer Aniston, if one didn't already hear, is very passionate about voting. On Instagram, she posted a wrenching plea to her followers, begging everyone to pick up their ballots and drop them in a box somewhere. Now, buried down near the bottom of her message, however, is this addendum. It says, P.S. It's not funny to vote for Kanye. I don't know how else to say it. Please be responsible. And then she threw up the prayer hands. She says, in the comments, after she posted this, in the comments, dozens of celebrities echoed the sentiments, like Julia Roberts, who told Aniston her post was beautifully expressed. Amy Sedaris, meanwhile, wrote, right on, Jen, so well said. Naomi Campbell, who has better things to do than this, simply responded with her 2 blue hearts and a flexing emoji. The post even drew out Aniston's stylist, Carla Welch, who responded, it's not funny, in all caps. It's not funny to vote for Kanye, period. And then she signed the Resistance Freedom Fighter Creative. Now, and so Jennifer Aniston and her plea would have passed into the annals of celebrity voting history undetected had Kanye West not jumped into the fray after he saw it. Now, in a now deleted tweet, the presidential hopeful posted a screenshot of a Vanity Fair article about Aniston's Instagram post. In response to Aniston's plea, West claimed that his recent Joe Rogan interview must have gotten the establishment shook, is what he says. He says, so let me take a beat to lay it out exactly. They say, so hold on. Okay, they say, so let me take a beat to lay it out exactly what West believes has the liberal Democratic establishment so shaken up. Now, during that 3-hour interview, West shared a bounty of befuddling policy proposals with host Joe Rogan. In a tangent about the number of humans being on the internet, he claimed that for us to survive, we must have shelter. We don't have to have the internet. We don't have to have music. He also claimed that God called him here to be the new leader of the free world. And he railed on how most people are all on medication. He says most people are all on medication, a statement that he then appended with something much, much worse. He says, did you see toothpaste? With fluoride today, it blocks your pineal gland, and they put children on it. We put our kids on it. It's inside the deodorants that we use. It's all these things to create a disconnect to God, to serve. Are you serving man, or are you serving the one and only master? Now, as for his campaign at large, it appears that two or at most three people are actually working for him. A recent campaign video features a confusing mishmash of text fonts, aspect rations, aesthetic choices, and overall messaging. Still, it appears that sneakerheads, former Andrew Yang voters, and extremely online evangelicals have found their ideal president. Now, it should be very obvious that nobody is really scared of Kanye West's presidential campaign, besides maybe his wife. But on the same hand, Aniston's initial plea also reveals that celebrities like her watch far too much MSNBC, in turn morphing average rom-com stars like her into bona fide heroes in their imagined resistance. Okay. Now, before I go on, everyone, let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. Please like and share. Hit the subscribe button also. Also, if you are looking to purchase or start a Black-owned business, please make sure, if you have any questions, that you subscribe to flynubianbusiness.com. Also, if you have questions about investments, money, starting a new stream of income, please be sure to subscribe to flynubianmoney.com. And don't forget, the first month is absolutely free. Visit us at shopfnq.com if you have any reason to purchase gifts or apparel. Text Queens to 31996 in order to receive special offers, notifications, and alerts. You can download our podcast and watch us on the go by simply going to iTunes and typing in the search flynubianqueentv.com. Now let's talk about this. See, here's the thing. I want you to pay attention to how the person, whoever wrote this article, was clearly making fun of Kanye and acting like he's crazy, because they love to do that, right? Now, I don't think Kanye West is crazy at all, but I do think that he has been on medications that made him not act as himself, okay? That's what I think. I think he's been highly medicated, sedated even. And this is what he himself has said when he was on that Joe Rogan interview, right? Now, when he said that the establishment is shook, they're acting like he was just being stupid or silly, right? But no, he was being serious, because some of the things that he disclosed, they likely are shook. You see, because like Jaguar Wright, he was also talking about the music industry and how wicked it is and how they take people's money and all these other things, right? But not only that, I want you to pay attention to where he talked about fluoride. Now, they're trying to act like he's crazy for saying this, but it's absolutely true. He said, did you see fluoride in your toothpaste today? They give it to our kids. They put our kids on it. We allow them to take it. It's in our deodorants. It makes us have a disconnect from God. It affects the pineal gland. This is all very true. This is all very true. And that is why I use non-fluoride toothpaste, because it absolutely does affect the pineal gland. It also, for people who get older and have Alzheimer's, it is a main contributing factor for that. It is the main ingredient in rat poisoning, right? They use it to make bombs, okay? Nuclear bombs, that is. So with that being said, they have fooled many people, millions of people, into thinking that you need fluoride and that it is good for you. They put it in the water. When you go to the dentist, they want to give you a fluoride treatment. They always ask me that, and I always decline. Okay? So they give us these chemicals and make us think that they're for our better interest and for our health, but they're absolutely not. And like I said, they put it in the water so that everyone just about is consuming it. So no, he's not crazy as they want us to think. Okay? When you have people that are radical, people that come out and speak, they will do things to make them appear crazy. And oftentimes they put them under MK Ultra mind control. And if you don't think that's a real thing, please go and research it. The CIA has used it since the 40s. Okay? All right. So with that all being said, wow, I forgot about that. Yes, absolutely, Dan. Same here. I make my own toothpaste and non-aluminum loaded deodorant. Absolutely. So with that all being said, he's clearly not crazy, but he didn't like the fact that Jennifer Aniston, and here's the thing too, she was telling people not to vote for Kanye because it wouldn't be funny. But hold on, because I'm going to get to the point where she endorses Sloppy Joe Jim Crow Biden. Because I want you to hear the things that she was saying. See, I find it very interesting that the Mayo Clinic, the Helmets Crew, the Miracle Whip Mafia, they are never concerned about Black people. They're never concerned about our lives, our issues, our needs and wants. They're never concerned about those things until they need us to do something in alliance with them. Pay attention, Black people. This is what they do. Now, all these problems and issues that we have, all this time we've been shouting for reparations, all this time our people have been getting killed and slaughtered in the streets by race soldiers. None of these celebrities had anything to say. None of them came to our defense. But I want you to pay attention how now, all of a sudden, magically, Jennifer Aniston pretends that she has so much concern and care for Black people. Okay? Now, this article, Jennifer Aniston endorses Joe Biden while sharing snap dropping off her ballot, as she says it's not funny to vote for Kanye West. The Friends star, let me put my shades back, my glasses back on, not my shades. Okay. The Friends star sent an impression plea to Americans while sharing photos of herself dropping off her mail-in ballot on Friday. Now, Jennifer, age 51, made the stakes clear in her caption, saying, "This whole thing isn't about one candidate or a single issue. It's about the future of the country and the world. Vote for equal human rights, for love, and for decency," she continued. The Morning Star proudly declared her choice, writing hashtag voted for @Joe Biden and @Kamala Harris. "I dropped my ballot off and I did it early," she says. "I voted for them because right now this country is more divided than ever." Now, let me say something about that. I love it. I absolutely love it. That she says this country is right now more divided than ever. First of all, the most divided that it ever was during slavery. That was the most divided it ever was, okay? But it has always been divided, okay? It's not any more divided now than it was in the 60s. So they can cut the BS because they love to act like it's so divided. They love to act like Trump is the big bad boogeyman. Yes, Trump is racist, but most of them are. So cut the crap. They tried to act like Trump has divided this country, but when all of them is a collective, divided this country. They are the ones who made Black redlining, Black codes, Jim Crow laws, right? Made us fight for civil rights. They're the ones that do all these other things. I could go on and on with the list, but you understand what I'm saying. This country has always been divided. They need to cut it out. And just like when Trump says, "Make America great again," great again for who? The only time this country was great was for them. Prior to them coming here in 1492, yeah, I'm sure it was great then, until they showed up on the scene, no less. So perhaps if they want to make the country great again, they should all just pack up and go back where they came from, right? Good thought. Now, the actress added at the end of her post, "P.S. It's not funny to vote for Kanye. I don't know how else to say it. Please be responsible." Now, meanwhile, she rattled off a list of reasons that she's voting, saying right now a few men in power are deciding what women can and can't do with their own bodies. Now, I want you all to pay attention, Black women. This is for you. When she says right now a few men in power are deciding what women can and can't do with their bodies. Let me tell you something, Black women. This is the talk of the feminist groups, okay? This is what this is. This is how they trick you, okay? Because they try to appeal to the fact that we have the same gender as them. But Karens, they don't give a crap about Black women. That's what they don't do, okay? And they don't care about Black women having abortions or not. In fact, they hope that we do, which is why Margaret Sanger put all of those Planned Parenthoods clinics in Black neighborhoods. And I love the way that she named it conveniently, Planned Parenthood. Because at first it was the Negro Project, but then she changed it to Planned Parenthood so that it didn't sound so sinister. How are you planning parenthood when you're getting an abortion? It's an oxymoron. With that being said, she named it that likely to make it seem as though it's someplace to go to get help, assistance, right? Just a con game, which is what the devils and demons always do. Okay? So now she's talking about, oh, they're trying to, a group of powerful men are trying to tell women what they can and can't do. That's their problem, not ours. Okay? They want to put Black women in it They always want us to campaign for them and to protest with them and speak out with them. But when a Black woman is killed by police, Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor, Tatiana Jefferson, you don't hear a peep from them. Not a peep do you hear. Talking the nationwide reckoning with racial injustice. This is what she says. Pay attention. Talking about the nationwide reckoning with racial injustice and the COVID-19 crisis, Jennifer went on. Our current president has decided that racism is a non-issue. He has repeatedly and publicly ignored science. Too many people have died. Let me tell you something. Yeah, too many people have died. And guess what? Her people killed most of them. Okay? And the too many that died are Black people. And then another thing is this. I love how she says racial injustice. And we have a president who thinks racism is a non-issue. Let me tell you something. 98.9% of them, in my opinion, don't think racism is a problem. When you speak about it to them and you talk about the things they do that are racist, they say slavery ended 400 years ago, which in itself is a lie if you do the math. But also, they still have slavery today anyway. And also, here's the thing. They love to try to pretend that racism left with slavery. Racism is still alive and well, and they know this. But see, that's their way of gaslighting and deflecting. But now Jennifer wants to make us think, because this is a Karen, people. Okay, Jennifer Aniston is nothing but a Karen. This is what she is. All right, don't let her fool you. Talking about social injustice, racial injustice. And the president wants to pretend that racism is a non-issue. All of them, most of them want to pretend racism is a non-issue. And then when we speak out about it, they say we're the racists because we tell them the truth about themselves, though they for years and centuries lied on us. I find that very interesting that she has the nerve to act as though she gives a damn about racism or racial injustice. Okay? Because clearly she doesn't. Now, if you ask me, I think the reason they all want to get Trump out of there, because you can say what you want, but I absolutely believe that they're all wanting Trump out of there because Trump said publicly he's going after the pedophiles. Now, I know you can say, oh, Trump was accused of raping a 13-year-old girl. I don't know if he did or not, but I do know this. He told them that he was coming after them, and I want you all to pay attention because let's not forget that it was a few months ago when we saw pictures of Oprah, Ellen DeGeneres, Barack Obama, and Hillary Clinton all had on what looked like ankle monitors. Did they not? Did they not? And then let's not forget that Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, his wife, went over to Australia. And then Ellen gave him a subliminal on her Instagram video with a sweatshirt that said, "Run, Forrest, run." Now, some people probably thought she was referencing his movie, but "Run, Forrest, run," clearly she was telling him not to come back to the United States. Okay? And in fact, there's other things that have come out as of recent. Now, remember, when Oprah, when they said her house was raided and they found sex tunnels and all of that under the ground, and then she said, oh, that wasn't my house. That was the next door house. She said that in a tweet. Now, if somebody accused me of having a sex dungeon or whatever in my house, a sex tunnel that could likely be for trafficking humans, I would have came out publicly and had something to say. Because I find it interesting. She didn't come out and speak publicly about that. She said it in a tweet. But when her friend Gayle King was getting all the backlash for what she said about Kobe Bryant, Oprah mysteriously, miraculously came out publicly and shed tears. Yeah, she's not doing well. You had all that empathy and sympathy and tears for your own friend, but not for yourself. When people allegedly said things about you that you claim are not true, but you only responded in a tweet. Make it make sense, okay? Make it make sense. Now, and then also pay attention to this, people. Pay attention to this. When Trump first got in office, did you hear these celebrities complaining about him? No, you did not. Did you hear these white celebrities talking about how racist he was? No, you did not. And you know why you did not? Because they didn't care. They didn't care how racist he was. That's what they didn't do. Okay? That's what they didn't do. Don't let them fool you. So talking the nation, she says, talking the reckoning, the nationwide reckoning with social injustice and the COVID-19 crisis. She went on to say, our current president, has decided that racism is a non-issue. He has repeatedly ignored science, and too many people have died. Let me tell you what I find interesting about that statement. Too many people have died. Now, have too many people died because Trump has ignored science? Or have too many people died because somebody planned a pandemic? Because I find it interesting that in 2017, there was Dr. Fauci talking about there's going to be a pandemic during this administration. Now, how does he know that? Was he looking at a crystal ball? Is he a psychic oracle or something? How did he know that? And don't forget about Event 201. So are too many people dead because of Trump, who, by the way, told people to take hydroxychloroquine? But then, and other doctors and scientists came out and said it too, but then Fauci says, no, it hasn't been placebo tested. And they stopped the pharmacist from filling prescriptions for it. Now, why would they do that? I ask you, when people have been taking it for years for malaria and lupus. Pay attention. FEMA camps, yeah, that's what they have waiting on us, okay? Watch what I tell you. So, with that all being said, let me continue. She goes on to say, now she told people to think hard about their decision, saying, I urge you to really consider who is going to be most affected by this election if we stay on the track we're on right now. I want y'all to pay attention to something. When she says who is going to be the most affected, Black people. She's talking to us. You see, rich celebrities, they're not going to be affected, right? She's talking to Black people, and that's why she said it's not funny to vote for Kanye. Okay? Because who do you think would vote for Kanye other than Black people? I'm just saying, who do you think would vote for him other than Black people? Especially young Black people, right? Ages 18 to 30. Those would be the people more likely to vote for him. And guess what? Those are the people that the Democrats, have been trying to appeal to. You see, the Democrats, they're not worried about the elderly Black people, the Black Christians especially. They're not worried about them. They know they've already got their votes signed, sealed, and delivered, because those people, most of them, they're absolutely set in their ways, and they feel that we have to vote, even though it never changes and never has changed anything. But they know they've got them. Because remember, it was just a few months ago when Sloppy Joe Jim Crow Biden said himself, he said, we don't have to worry about the Southern Christians. So they have to worry about the younger people. And that's why they're using hip hop. Pay attention. They're not pandering to older Black people. They're pandering to the youth. That's why they have hip hop music and strippers. The people who are just in college, starting college, the ones who are just now, this is the first time they'll be able to vote. From those ages, 18 to 30, these are the ones they're trying to get. And so they felt like, well, they may try to vote for Kanye. And that's why these stars, these celebrities would come out and say those things, right? This is why they would come out and say those things. So at the end of the day, don't let them fool you. They don't care anything about our concerns. That's what they don't do. And she says, if we continue on the track that we're on now, that's why we need to get rid of him. Then she goes on to say, now listen, she says, your daughters, the LGBTQ community, our Black brothers and sisters, the elderly with health conditions, and your future kids and grandkids who will be tasked with saving a planet that our leadership refuses to believe is hurting. She's once again trying to appeal to the women, talking about your daughters. Why didn't you say anything about sons? Now, Aniston made it clear everyone has a stake in the future continuing. This whole thing isn't about one candidate or one single issue. It's about the future of this country and the world. Vote for equal human rights, for love, and for decency. I find that interesting. Vote for equal human rights? Is there a vote for us to do this? For equal human rights? It's 2020, and this white woman is telling us to vote for equal human rights. Marinate on that for a moment, if you could, please. She's saying, vote for equal human rights. Now, Black people, you may think she's talking about you, but she's not. She's talking about the fact that white men are trying to prohibit white women from having abortions. You know why they're trying to do that? I'm glad you asked. Because you see, their birth rates are declining, and they have been doing so for a few years now, while their death rates are rising because of the opioid crisis and other issues. Okay? But the opioid crisis is taking many of them out, which is why Governor DeSantis, right, said that he was going to spend like $5 million, I do believe, on the opioid crisis. See, they're trying to salvage themselves, not us. But I find it funny that she says equal rights because she wants to draw Black people in. Because when we hear equal rights, we may think they're talking about us. But when you think about it, why would we be asking for equal rights in 2020 unless this country has always been divided and full of racism? Why is there still a first African American anything in this country in 2020? Okay? Now, she says that they say the 2020 presidential election is already happening. According to a report by Washington Post on Wednesday, over 50 million people have voted early in person and dropped off absentee ballots. There are still 11 days until November 3rd. The official election day is the official election day in the United States. Now, people can find information on their state's website, whatever. Okay. So with that all being said, yes, Karen is trying to get us to come out there and vote for the party she wants us to vote for. They're pulling out all the stops, people. Pay attention. They're getting Black celebrities, the bootlicks and the butter biscuit ones, and they're getting the white celebrities, the Karens, right, and the Chads. They're getting them to come out and try to encourage us, and then trying to use talking points to reel you in. The president doesn't care about racial injustice. This is about racial injustice, and he thinks racism is a non-issue. See, saying all of this to get Black people on board. But I'm telling you, Black people, this is their battle to fight. Okay? This is nothing to do with us. Absolutely nothing to do with us. Right? Because either way it goes, either way the ball bounces or the table turns, nothing is going to change for us. Right? I promise you that. I promise you that. So, now listen to this. I want you all to listen to this because, see, here's the thing. I have told you this numerous of times. I have told you all so many times, right, that we, the people, we don't elect the president. I told you all you had to do was Google why the Electoral College was created. But I'm glad that Hillary Clinton says that in this article. So I'm going to read it to you because Hillary Clinton says that she is an Electoral College elector in New York. Okay? Let me tell you that again. Hillary Clinton says that she is an Electoral College elector in New York. Now, Hillary Clinton said Tuesday that she is one of the 538 electors for the Electoral College. She says, I'm an elector in New York. The 2016 Democratic nominee told Sirius XM's Signal Boost. She says, I'm sure I'll get to vote for Joe Biden and Senator Kamala Harris in New York. So that's going to be pretty exciting, she says. Now, Clinton has previously called for the abolition of the Electoral College. Yeah, she wants it abolished, or at least she did. She wanted it abolished, right? Because she lost due to the Electoral College. So now she's on board, right? She said she wanted it abolished because the electors directly vote on the president and vice president in the United States. Now pay attention, listen to this. She advocated for the president to be instead, listen close, Black folks. She advocated for the president to be instead selected based on the United States popular vote. Didn't I tell you all this? The popular vote does not elect the president. Now listen, she goes on to say, or they go on to say, Clinton won almost 2.9 million more votes than Donald Trump in 2016. 2.9 million more votes than Donald Trump, right? In 2016. but she lost the election after Trump secured a majority of votes in the Electoral College. See, here's the thing. Now, they're going to break it down for you like I did. And some of you didn't believe it or didn't listen. When Americans cast their votes in presidential elections, they are not selecting the president directly. According to the system laid out by the U.S. Constitution, Americans are only voting for the 538 electors. Okay, didn't I tell you? They are only voting for the 538 electors who then meet in their respective states, and they vote for the president and vice presidents. These electors comprise the Electoral College, and their votes are then counted by the president of the Senate in a joint session of Congress. Each state is in charge of selecting their own electors. Okay, Black people. So you really think your vote counts? That's what you really think in the presidential selection. That's why I told you, if I vote for anything, it's going to be down the ballot for state and local. Okay? 504 says she does have a masculine facial structure. So yes, there you have it, people. Okay? I keep trying to tell people that is the Electoral College that decides. Hello? Yes, Dan, absolutely. How was she voting when she was beat by one of the candidates? I mean, she still gets to vote. That's just the rules. She's one of the electors for the Electoral College. So she definitely gets to vote. She has a say. Because as I said, we, the population, we don't choose the president. We don't elect the president. The president is selected by the Electoral College. The 538 electors on that board, which she is, Hillary, they get to vote for the president. And that's how they determine who wins. Right? So when they're showing you all those numbers across the screen, and saying, oh, so-and-so got this many millions and so-and-so got this many millions, that's all BS. Because none of those numbers matter as far as who's going to win the presidency. Period, point, and blank, okay? And I'm so glad they finally decided to come out and admit this. Because I've been telling people this for years. But niggardly, Black people don't listen. Nor do they research, many of you. So therefore, when you don't research, you don't find out the truth that they often hide from us. They set up a way out of if they don't like who the people pick. Yes, absolutely. That is the thing. Yes. Thank you for saying it. Absolutely. That's what I've been telling people. So if we as a collective do not vote for the person they've already selected, they'll just simply tell us the Electoral College pick this person. Now you have to ask yourself, if this, listen, ask yourself, how does your vote for the president count when they just told you in this article that Hillary had 2.9 million more votes than Donald Trump, but the Electoral College said, no, Trump's the president. Doesn't that let you know your votes don't count? Right? It's ridiculous. People need to wake up. Yeah, these white women have always had rights, and they celebrated 100 years of voting rights this year. But who kept the white women from voting? White men. That's who. White male dominance. Absolutely. And when she's talking about Jennifer Aniston, that is, when she's talking about these powerful men are trying to decide what women can and can't do with their bodies, she's absolutely talking about white men. White men and white women, that is their problem between them. Here's the thing. You see, they love to keep Black women divided from Black men. They try to use gender politics and all of those things to keep us divided and separated, right? So that we have dysfunctional families, okay? So that we don't have men in the house to help us raise our children, and so they can go out into the streets and run amok and join gangs and get into all kinds of criminal activities, right? And it's so much harder for a mother to raise kids by herself when she has to work 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, right? And even more in some cases. And you have one parent at the house and the kids are doing whatever, God knows what. So this is why they try to do these things. And it's very interesting that these feminist groups with these white women, they come and try to recruit Black women, and some Black women niggardly join them as if this is their fight to battle, and it isn't. But they get these Black women to help fight with them and protest and all of that, and speak out and speak up, when anything that's yielded from all of that is going to go to white women, to the Karens. It's not going to Shaniqua. Okay, that's what it's not going to do. And then when Shaniqua has a problem, where is Karen? They're nowhere to be found. That's where. So that's how that works, right? The thing about many of our people is we are too busy caught up worrying about other people and other races of people and ethnicities who clearly don't worry about us, who clearly don't care about us, and don't do anything lucrative or beneficial, significant for us. But we want to whine and complain when they are done wrong. Like it's some black women right now, like Candace Owens, out here upset and mad because these white women are talking about they can't do what they want to do with their bodies because they don't want them to have abortions. That's not our problem. That's not our problem. You see, I find it interesting that Bill Gates can go over to Africa, to Kenya, and give 500,000 African women tetanus immunizations that cause them to be sterile. And I don't hear any of Karen's talking about that. I don't hear any of them speaking out against Kill Bill Gates. Okay? I don't hear them talking about the black women, right? The black Jewish women over in Israel who have been sterilized against their wishes. I don't hear them saying anything about that, but they want us to fight with them so they can have abortions if they so choose. They're not our problems. And that's one thing that we as a collective need to do is stop feeling sorry for them, stop worrying about what they're doing, and worry about our own selves. Because I see so many black people who have a whole lot more empathy and sympathy for the Mayo Clinic than they do for their own. Now, you don't see that on the opposite side, right? That's what you don't see because they're on code and they stay on code. That's what they do. But many of black people have such an affinity to want and need and desire for white acceptance. That's what they seek, white acceptance. And those are black people who are clearly not happy with themselves, who are self-loathing. Because if you're happy with yourself and proud of who you are and proud of where you came from and your culture and heritage and all of that, and your ancestors, why would you feel the need to be validated by white folk? Because clearly they don't feel the need to be validated by us. And everything we try to do to get ahead in life, they try to halt us and stifle us. And then you have these people come out and say, well, you know, they need to want to be successful, right? This is what they say, like Jared Kushner. Black people have to want to be successful. As if they don't do everything they can to stop us from being successful. But it's very interesting that, like I said, when they have issues and problems, they want our assistance, they need our attendance, and they want us to get on board. And you see, here's the thing. Now, they realize that as a collective, black people have always voted for the Democrats. So they think this will just be easy. It'll just be a piece of cake. Just tell them a few things. You know, just let's all just keep pointing out the fact that Trump is racist. Listen, I don't deny that Trump is very racist. Yes, absolutely. But the thing is, so are they. And people keep saying vote for the lesser of two evils when there's no such thing. Evil is just that. It's evil. Okay? Stop being ridiculous. How is there a lesser evil when evil is the same, regardless? So, with that all being said, black people, in my opinion, should be voting down the ballot for state and local. It should absolutely not be participating in their presidential selection. And anyway, at the end of the day, it's nothing but a scam. Why do we keep allowing them to scam us, to fool us, to make us think that we absolutely have to go out and vote? It's our civic duty. It's our responsibility. This is what they tell you, vote or die. This is what they say, right? Vote as though your life depends on it. Our life doesn't depend on voting. Theirs may, but ours doesn't. Because voting doesn't change our lives. So how is voting going to make my life depend on it? How does that even make any sense? But hold on, let me show you all something. This video is going to be brief because I have some contractors coming to do some work, and I do not want them to come while I'm doing my live. Okay? But listen, I want you all to see this video so you know what's being planned, right? As we're sitting here, some of us twiddling our thumbs and thinking everything's a joke and a game.
Raise your hand if you think that now more than ever.
Hold on, before I play this, let me read my fair use disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing.
Raise your hand if you think that now more than ever in your life. Raise your hand if you think that now more than ever in your lifetime, America's on the brink of civil war.
Fire! Fire! Ready up, bend, forward.
I'm Laura Siegel in rural Michigan, where one of the largest statewide militias is preparing.
Up.
Bang, bang. Who here believes that their rights are under attack? How many of you guys were in the military? Good number. Last night at a rally, President Trump called your governor, Gretchen Whitmer, a dictator. This is after everything that's happened with the foiled plot to kidnap her. She tweeted, "This is exactly the rhetoric that has put me, my family, and other government officials' lives in danger while we try to save the lives of our fellow Americans. It needs to stop." I'm curious for your response.
So, most of people in Michigan will agree with Trump because everything she's done, some of it's made sense, some of it hasn't. The minute she went against the voice of the people to repel her emergency powers, she became that dictator.
Do you worry that this is just adding fuel to the fire?
I don't think what Trump said is adding fuel to the fire. I think anything she does from this point forward that doesn't make sense or is in the good of the public will. Anything she does from here on out is going to determine if it fuels the fire or not. That's 100% on her.
You believe that it's all on her?
I believe where it goes is on her, yes.
Being a governor of a state like Michigan is going to be a hard job. But it shouldn't carry consequences like these, where if people disagree with you, they want to take your life.
I'm Laura Siegel at the Michigan State Capitol. Behind me, you have an armed group of folks. You have members of the Boogaloo Boys.
We gather here today to call on our public servants and political leaders to turn from their sin and reform their ways.
For someone who's never heard of a Boogaloo Boy, how would you explain it?
A lot of people think it's like a group or a team or a militia, when really it's more of a movement. It's people sharing ideas with each other about our individual liberties and how we need to put people before politics. And
okay, I think you've seen enough. So listen, I need one of my moderators to get Crystal Charbonneau out of my chats. Crystal Charbonneau. Dominique, could you get her out of my chat, please? Thank you so very much. I don't know why she's in here. Racist piece of shites. I don't know if you all saw the comments that she was leaving. But please get her out of it. There she is, Crystal Charbonneau. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Tony. Okay. So with that all being said, these people are planning for a civil war, people. They are clearly planning for a civil war, okay? They're out there with guns, training, and all of that. Now, what they're not doing is walking around with guns. They're training for combat, okay? Now, I showed you another video where one of these so-called supremacists was out there doing the same thing, was talking about, you know, they're going to be killing people and this and that, if anybody gets in their way and all this stuff, because they're saying if Trump loses, there's going to be a civil war. This is what they're saying. If Trump loses, there's going to be a civil war, okay? This is not our problem. This is not our battle to fight, okay? Black people, let me tell you something. Let me give you a warning. Let me throw you another lifeline, okay? Let me tell you this. At the end of the day, when the selection is over, the selection, not election, when the selection process is over, right? If any white people come to you, if Trump wins, and these white people who are Democrats come to you trying to get you to protest with them, don't do it. That's their business. That's their problem. It's a trap. Okay? It is a trap. Pay attention. That will get you out there. I'm going to tell you the plan. That will get you out there have you go into protests in white neighborhoods, and these white people are going to come out with their guns and mow you down. Okay? Now, you can think this is a joke or a game if you want to, but I'm telling you what their plan is. They want to get black people out there protesting against Trump being in the presidency. Now, you may not like Trump and you may not be voting for him. That's all fine and dandy. Vote for whoever you want to vote for. But I'm telling you, if he wins and white people come telling you, oh, they're going to protest and all this, you know, the Democrats, the ones who are against Trump, don't let them fool you into protesting with them. First of all, I can tell you right now, protest is not going to do any good anyway. It's not like you can protest and they're going to take him out of office and put Biden and Kamala in. So at the end of the day, don't waste your time. Because I'm telling you right now, you go to those white people's neighborhoods or white areas populated predominantly by white people, they will shoot you and kill you, and they will get away with it. You can rest assured that. Because all they have to do, remember, is say, I feared for my life. That's all they have to say. So don't be a fool. And here's another thing. If the police show up while the protesting is going on, who do you think they're going to attack for protesting against Trump? Who do you think they are going to attack? So stay your behinds home. You could be mad at me for telling you not to vote in the election. You could be mad because I'm talking trash about Joe, Sloppy Joe Jim Crow, and you just don't want to accept the fact that he's just as racist, if not more so than Trump. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, regardless, whatever your decision is on who you're voting for, do not let these white people, these members of the Mayo Clinic, get you caught up in their BS. Okay? Because it's not our battle to fight. Now, there will come a time when we have to fight, but this ain't it. This is their problem. Period, point, and blank. All right? So, strap up, black people. Protect yourselves and your family. Get the ammo and guns while you can. Absolutely. Absolutely. Some more. We be smart about our moves from now on because it's really real with these devils. Yes, it absolutely is. They're not playing games. And as I've been telling you for months, these people are on the battleground. Many of our people are on the playground thinking it's a game. It is not a game. These people are serious. They are preparing for war. And you saw many of those men in that militia. They were former military, right? Ex-military or former military. With that all being said, you see the amount of training that they're doing. This is every day. This is not every once a month or whatever. This is every day. See, they're not just showing up, walking around with guns. They're out here training to kill. All right? So it's not a game, people. With that all being said, let me remind everyone to please go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already. Also, if you're watching on the Queen Ahmadiyah Shakur Show, please subscribe to my channel as well. Be sure that you click the like and click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified anytime anyone on the platforms go live. Also, if you're looking to start a Black-owned business or generate a side hustle, please make sure that you visit us and subscribe to flynubianbusiness.com. If you have questions about income, finances, stock market, and things of that nature, please make sure you subscribe to flynubianmoney.com. And don't forget, the first month is absolutely free. Shop fnq.com for your needs of gifts and apparels. Don't forget to text Queens to 31996 in order to receive special alerts, notifications, and offers. And also, you can download our podcast and watch us on the go by simply going to iTunes and typing in the search flynubianqueentv.com. Okay? LaMarcus says, Africa, here I come. Okay? Yes, everyone get the likes up. Thank you, Dan. Everyone get the likes up. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share this video. Okay? Now, with that all being said, I'm going to go ahead and close out this broadcast. Now, listen, everyone, I will be going live again on the Queen Ahmadiyah Shakur Show on my personal YouTube channel at 6 o'clock this evening. 6 o'clock, so tune in. Don't want to miss it. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Queen Ahmadiyah Shakur, on Twitter at DGoddess27. Okay, and my own personal YouTube channel, The Queen Ahmadiyah Shakur Show. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do so. And I would like to thank everyone who has subscribed to my channel, who has been supporting me faithfully, and who has helped me get to over 10,000K followers, all right, in such a short period of time. So with that all being said, I would like to wish you all peace, love, and prosperity. Please enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, family, I will talk